Everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today with a little bit of celebrity news. Now, this first one up is TLC. So they stopped by the Breakfast Club to do an interview to talk about their upcoming music. Now, while they were there, Chilli and Charlamagne kind of got into a little tense back and forth. Basically, Chilli told him that he was mean. She wasn't feeling him. She had him blocked, and he kept asking her why she had him blocked, and she didn't go into it. I think Chilli handled this very professionally and grown up. She just told him, like I said, that he was mean, that he knows what it is that he does, because he kept trying to say that he wasn't mean, and that, if you have an opinion that someone, disagrees with, and people might label you as mean. And Chilli stopped him, and she was like, no, I'm not buying that. She was like, you know what it is that you do. They talked about him, talking about people that were fat, and you could just tell that Chilli does not like him. He even said, I think, that she didn't want to sit by him. I think that Chilli is not having it. She even talked about how he must have had some type of problems in his childhood. He didn't get enough love or something, and that she was going to go find his family members and interview them to find out what happened to him when he was younger. I thought it was handled nicely, but he knew when she came that she wasn't feeling him, because she had him blocked, and said that she was not unblocking him, and that when she left she wasn't unblocking him even after the interview. You could just tell that she just didn't like him. And I think this interview they did was really good. They talked about when T-Boz worked on when she was on The Apprentice, and she talked about how she didn't like Donald Trump. She said that he was very disrespectful to the men that were under him, like the cameramen and I guess the crew. And she said that she does not like to see one man, I guess, denigrate and berate another man in front of a group of people. And she said that he was known for that, and she just did not like his vibe. She basically said that she only went on the show to raise money for sickle cell anemia, and once she did that, she was out. She said that she didn't like him then, and she definitely doesn't like him now. They talked about Left Eye and how they still incorporate her voice into any music that they're doing. They talked about, what all else did they talk about? T-Boz almost fighting Left Eye, because a question was asked, had they ever got into like a physical fight? And Chilli and T-Boz said no, because they're the type of people that if something like that had ever happened, they would no longer, and I'm using T-Boz's word, fuck with each other. She said once she fights you, that's over. There's no going back. One thing that I noticed about them, they have a very, very tight bond. And you could tell that it's not fake or forced. You can tell that these are two people that have been around each other for a number of years. They're so comfortable with each other. And even when you watch them, they call themselves sisters, and they actually act like they are. They finish each other's sentences. These are two women, like they said, that have been through ups and downs together. And I think that they have a general love for each other. And one thing that I really noticed about them is I always think of them as those young girls that were tearing up the charts, but you forget that they have grown up too. And what you saw is two polished women who are business women that happen to sing. because they're all about their business. They talked about the movie. They said that they never held a grudge against Pebbles and anyone affiliated with the record company. And basically, what T-Boz said is that they grew up and they're adults now. And she said that they also own their own masters. She said how they did that is they re-recorded all their old songs, and since they re-recorded and I guess changed it a little bit, they now own their own masters. So I was very impressed by their interview, and it made me like them again. Not that I stopped liking them. I guess it just reinforced the like that I had for them. The only thing about it is you just miss Left Eye. You wish she could be there, and had lived a full life and hadn't died so young. That's the one thing that I took away from this interview. Other than T-Boz checking the shit out of Charlamagne. She did it in a classy, grown-up woman way, but she did certainly check him. Y'all, I wonder if y'all saw the I guess the show or listened to the show and heard the interview, and what did you think of what T-Boz said and how she treated him? Oh, not T-Boz, I'm sorry, Chilli. How Chilli treated Charlamagne. What did you guys think of it? I think she got her point across, but like I said, I think she did it in a very classy way. Leave your comments down in the comment section. This next story up, y'all, is about Basketball Wives. Now, I don't review that show, but I do watch it. The reason why I wanted to do a little story on them is because of the episode that I watched last night. It was the scene with Malaysia, Evelyn, Shawnee, and Tammy. And they were discussing, why they didn't speak to her, why they were mad at her, the whole little thing that's going on. So it wasn't so much, what they were discussing. It was this one part when Shawnee told Malaysia that she didn't have any substance. Now, I want to back up a little bit, y'all. I remember prior to the show coming on that there was some talk that Malaysia and Brandy were coming back. They were let go after last season, and a lot of people were like, okay, they're gone. We don't have to deal with them anymore. And they started filming this season. And then we started hearing stories that Malaysia and Brandy were coming back, rumors. And then the next thing we heard is that they were filming, and the reason why they asked Malaysia and Brandy to come back is because they had been filming, and what they were filming was not good. They were saying that it was boring. There was no sparks. The women wouldn't open up. The new women wouldn't open up about, their baby daddies. So they needed some excitement. So they asked Brandy and Malaysia to come back. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because it's evident that there is a clear divide between the old Miami crew and these LA girls. And it was there even before everything happened. I think the Miami crew were like the veteran crew, so they were determined not to like the LA girls. And I think that that's held through all these seasons that these two have been together. Now, last night when Shawnee said that to Malaysia, I didn't want to go all into the whys and the this and the that. The reason why I bring that up is that is really something to say to another woman. And it is the reason why a lot of black women are starting to tune out. It's because they're saying that they're tired of them depicting us as just drinking and fighting all the time. And it's no shade against the people on the show. It's shade against the show itself and what they're putting out there. What it is they found a formula, long time ago when these bitches started fighting and running across tables and trying to throw bottles at each other, and that formula worked for them. And so now they think the only way that they can entertain us is with bitchiness and fighting. Now, I'm not going to say bitchiness and fighting is not entertaining sometimes, but when they first advertised that there was going to be something called Basketball Wives, what we thought we were going to get was a little slice of these women's lives, like their everyday life. What do they go? Pretty much just who these women are. And we thought they would be shopping and, be with their boo things, and we would see their homes and they would be going on trips. But as soon as the first woman socked the other one in the face or cussed the other one out and their ratings went up, then they thought that that's the only way that they can keep us entertained. So what I'm saying is, while I will continue to watch it, it's because I'm a loyal fan. But this is starting to get to the point where it's demeaning of each other. It was a look that Malaysia put on her face. Now, whatever you think of Malaysia, whether you fall on the I can't stand the bitch or I actually like her, it's just that I don't know, maybe I'm a different person. I just don't believe in, you know, demeaning someone, especially over this silly shit that they're doing. Oh, I'm mad at you because you bought your girl and I told you that I didn't want to see her. So, some of this shit, y'all, what it is these women are too old for this. This is 20, 30-year-old stuff, not even 30-year-old. It looks stupid at their age. So, three of these women, I believe, are in their 40s. I think Malaysia is the only one that's in her 30s. The other ones damn near old enough to be grandmothers. And y'all, let me tell you something. Pettiness starts from kindergarten to the grave. But at a certain age, you start being able to let some things go because it is silly. And I think that when you watch the YouTubers that review these shows, they all say, like when I watch For It's Rocks and Ashley Miller and Bondi Blue, even they'll say, you know what, some of these storylines are just silly. They get us all caught up. And then we're like, yeah, she told that bitch. She told her she didn't have any substance. She told her. And then after a while, we're caught up in villainizing each one of these women. Now, some of them deserve it, because of some of the things that they've done on the show. Namely, y'all, I'm just going to keep it real. I don't fuck with Tammy Roman. Ever since I kind of used to like Tammy years ago, kind of. Because on the Real World, she was a little bitchy. But I stopped messing with Tammy when she bullied that girl. So after that, the shine was gone for Tammy for me. She is funny. She is entertaining. But I don't like Tammy as a person. Tammy is one of those people that you keep at arm's length. She's all right in the crowd, but she couldn't be a good girlfriend to me, because to me, she's petty. And instead of acting like she's in her mid 40s, Tammy acts like she's a teenage girl getting mad over some silly shit. I hope a lot of this is just to keep her spot on this show. And I hope that she's not really like this in real life, because I was 42, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and none of my friends were this petty. None of the girls that I hung around, the women that I was, work friends, people in my personal life, they weren't this petty. Because, like I said, at a certain age, some things you learn to let go of. Things that used to, you know, upset you when you were younger in your 20s and 30s, and you will say something, I'm going to tell that bitch. When you start to get older, you'll be like, that shit don't even matter to me. And you can let it go. But they do this stuff to keep the ratings high on the show. And like I said, they got me as a fan. They got me because I'm going to still be watching. But I understand now why all the fellow YouTubers that I watch James Colwell. He says the same thing. Who else do I watch? It's quite a few. Uh, oh, um, I forgot who else. Couple other people that I watch, and I notice all of them say the same thing, that it's just a bunch of drinking and bashing each other, and the fact that in real life people do not act like this. I know I went on and on about this, but that part when she said, yes, you have no substance, I was sitting there thinking, how dare you? I know you're quote unquote Shawnee O'Neal, but when you strip away titles and what you got in the bank, you are still just two women sitting there. And I think that's what some of these celebrities forget. They forget that they're just people like us. So she felt comfortable telling Malaysia, who she considers beneath her, you have no substance. That's all I got to say on that, y'all. Leave it down in the comments what you thought of that scene and what you think of this show. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. On to the next story, y'all. I got tongue tied there at the end. On to the next story, y'all. This last story up, y'all, is about Xscape. So I heard a rumor that Bravo may be giving them a reality show. And the producer is none other than Mona Scott Young. Y'all, I don't know about this. Now, everybody knows that Xscape has reunited. They've buried the hatchet. They're making new music. And they're thinking about going out on tour. Now, this reality show is supposed to be based all around that. It's going to detail them getting back together, them preparing for different concert dates, and maybe putting together a tour. The reason why I don't think it's a good idea is because they are in the infant state of their reuniting. I think that Bravo, when you put Bravo and Mona Scott Young together, they're not going to be happy if these girls are all la-di-da and everything is butterflies and roses. They're going to want some conflict to keep up with this thing that, as Black women, we have to argue with each other. I think that, them being able to bury the hatchet, them being strong enough to wipe away any past, anger at each other and actually start putting out new music was a very good thing. And it shows that they've grown up. But where I think they're going to go wrong is a reality show. Because, on these reality shows, they have confessionals and then they have reunion shows where the other members of the group are going to be able to sit and watch what was going through the other one's head and what they said about them. And that's not going to be good for the group. So as soon as the reunion show probably airs, the group is going to break up again because that they're going to be in those confessionals talking about each other. Now they'll not know what's going on, what the other one is saying while they're filming it, and then as soon as they sit down and view what was said in the confessionals, how everything was sliced and diced, it's going to break them up again. So I don't think it's a good idea. The sisters are going to stick together, and Candy and Tiny are going to stick together. They're not going to cross those lines. First of all, blood is thicker than water. So Latasha and her sister are going to stick together. They're not going to break rank to choose, like Latasha leave and be on Candy and Tiny's side and be against her sister. They're just not going to do that. So it's going to be one camp talking about the other camp, and I just think it's going to be disastrous for their reunion and what they were able to accomplish, through sitting down, talking to each other, and getting over past hurts. Ooh, I don't know, y'all, because Bravo don't do any show where these women are not on there, and it's a cat fight. And Mona's recipe is more drama, more drama, more drama. So I don't know if I think this is a good idea. Now, if they do it, will I be watching? Of course, because we are hooked to these shows. No matter how much we say we can't stand them, we think it's silly, we still tune in every week, child. So I just feel sorry that they decided to go this route with the reality show. I know in today's world that's the thing, but when you're trying to put something back together, you don't need a magnifying glass on it. And I think that's what these reality shows are. And I only hope that they can withstand the scrutiny that they're going to go through, being on a reality show while they're trying to put the pieces of their group back together. I don't know, y'all. This is the end of the video. Tell me what you think. Do you think that this reality show is a good idea? Now, forget that we're going to be watching. Do you think it's a good idea? Because I know I'm going to be watching, but I don't think it's a good idea. And with that, y'all, it's the end of the video. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye now.